from the lobster. That was rude. What the heck, man? Whoa, Bandit, did you just try to eat the lobster? Jeez, holy. Welcome back, everyone. All right, this video is gonna be on how to quarantine fish. I had a special request for me to make a video on how to quarantine fish. Now, these steps I'm going to explain to you is a surefire way to keep ick out of your tank completely and to eradicate ick and not have to worry about it again. But these steps I'm going to explain to you have to be followed precisely. You can't skip anything. If you skip anything, you will end up having ick back in your tank again. So let's get right into it. We're gonna start with the life cycle of ick. The life cycle of ick, I can't remember what temperature it is, but it's generally 76 days. Now that is at a very low temperature in the tank. If you crank the temperature up inside of your tank, it actually speeds the life cycle up, which means it goes away faster. But just because it goes way faster doesn't mean that it's still not in your tank. So what happens with ick, the 76 days, is from the time that it is on your fish, gets off the fish, incubates on the sand, hatches again, and then gets back on the fish. That's the time period. But if you increase the temperature, you can cut it down to 45 days. So the reason that you want to go fallow in your tanks is because ick feeds off of your fish. If there's nothing for ick to feed off of, it will eventually die. Now that process does take a good long while. 76 days at a very low temperature. You can speed up to 45 days if you have your temperature up to 81 or above. If you have corals in your tank, you don't want to crank it up over 81 or 82 degrees because that can stretch your corals out and kill your corals. But this will cut the time limit down to 45 days. If you do not have any corals in your tank and you have fish in your display tank already and you want to eradicate ick in that display tank, you can put copper in that display tank and let it go for 45 days and make sure that the temperature is up to 81 to 82 degrees. Now the reason I say that works is because of the copper being in the tank. With the copper being in the tank, that actually kills the free-floating stage of ick. The only time ick is vulnerable is whenever it is in the free-floating stage. There is nothing that can kill ick while it is on your fish or while it is incubating in the sand ready to hatch in its larva stage. Once it's on your fish, you just need to hope that your fish is strong enough to weather the storm. Now, quarantining the fish. You want to quarantine your fish in a separate tank away from your display tank so that way you do not contaminate your display tank or cross-contaminate your quarantine tank. If you have just set up a brand new display tank and you have had not any fish in it yet, you have no ick. So you don't want to introduce ick into that tank. So that is why you quarantine your fish before you put them in your tank. 45-day quarantine in a bare bottom tank, temperature at 81 to 82 degrees, copper level 1.5, no higher than 2.0. You don't want to go any lower than 1.5. Now while your fish are in quarantine for the 45 days, you don't want to add any new fish. If you add any new fish to quarantine, your quarantine time starts over. For the simple fact, you are not sure or do not know whether or not the fish you just added was carrying ick. You will not know if any fish has ick until that fish gets stressed out and its immune system goes down and drops in level and it can't fight the ick. That's when ick makes itself known. But once it's on your fish and it's made itself known, you have to wait till it falls off the fish. Once it falls off the fish, it's vulnerable. Once it hatches from the sand, it's vulnerable. So that is why you want to do a 76-day fallow in a new tank or a tank that has just had ick in it that you are trying to treat. But like I said, 76 days fallow is at a very low temperature. You can speed it up to 45 days if you crank your temperature up to 81 to 82 degrees with no fish in the tank whatsoever. If you have fish in the tank, the 45-day with no copper does not work because of the simple fact that ick still has something to feed on. If you have copper in the tank, this will work because the copper will attack the free-floating stage of the ick when it hatches or when it falls off the fish. Other than that, there's really not much else that there is to quarantine fish. Now, the process to transferring those fish from quarantine to your display tank has to be followed precisely as well, or you can contaminate your display tank with copper. And the more fish you add from display or from quarantine to your display without doing the procedure that I'm going to tell you, the more copper you will eventually add to your display tank and the more levels will build up. So what you want to do when you're transferring your fish from your quarantine tank to your display tank, you want to take some water from your display tank and put it inside of a bucket and have it sitting to the side. When you get your fish out of the quarantine tank, you want to take your fish and dip it into that bucket, or just put it into that bucket. Don't even use that same net. Just dip or put the fish into that bucket, take a different net that you have not had in your quarantine tank, and use that net to put the fish inside of the display tank, so that way you're not adding any water into your display tank. Now, a few other things that you need to know about ick and how it can get into your tank. It's not just by fish. For all you who like to use live rock, live sand, water from other sources, things like that, that's a big no-no. So your live sand can carry ick because it can be incubating in the sand. Your live rock can have ick because it takes one drop of water to contaminate your tank. That's all it takes. If there's a free-floating stage of ick inside of the water, it's on that live rock, guarantee you just transferred ick into that tank. You also don't want to use any outside water sources unless they have been mixed by themselves without any fish in them. If they've had fish in them and these outside water sources, you don't want to use it because you don't know if that fish had ick or not. You use that water, you can guarantee you just put ick back in your tank. So these procedures have got to be followed step by step precisely, or yeah, you're going to have ick. But this is a surefire way to eradicate ick and never have to worry about it, although it is a very brutal quarantine process and very long. But if you can stick it out, you'll have beautiful fish. So anyways, this is my quarantine tank. I have 4 fish in here at the moment. My copper level is a little above 1.5. I might jack it up just a hair. We got a powder blue tang, the emperor angel, the flame angel, and a peppermint hogfish. The temperature in here is around 82 degrees, I think. I'm going to check that right now with my handy dandy laser. That says 83.9, but it's probably because of the temperature here. Anyways, I usually keep it at 81 to 82, but it's at 83.4, whatever. It's good to go. The fish are fine. They can handle a little higher temperature than coral, so you don't have to worry about that. As you see, they're eating. I just fed them a minute ago. My emperor angel eats right out of my hand. I love it, and that is a beautiful emperor angel. I just dosed this with Canaplex again as well because he did have a bacteria infection. I seen it in his eye. His eye was cloudy, so we went ahead and took care of that. His eye's doing a lot better. And then down here, of course, this is just a freshwater tank. I put my blood parrot back in here with her baby. This is actually her baby. It's a hybrid between her and a Texas cichlid. But I had to get her out of my 40-gallon because my electric blue Jack Dempsey was getting super stressed out. And I think it was because of Sassy trying to bully him. So now we have him and just the freshwater moray in the tank. He's going nuts right now for some reason. He does not like this camera. And then, of course, we had the seahorse tank that definitely needs to be cleaned. Water here is getting super cloudy for some reason. A water change on that. But we have 1 baby seahorse and 2 baby seahorses. And I will need to clean this water. I don't like the way that's looking. And, of course, over here we have Pincher, the blue crab. He is doing amazing right now. He's huge. He's buried in the sand somewhere. Yeah, he's in there somewhere, but he is massive, everyone. Massive. And then we have our 55-gallon saltwater tank up here with our anglerfish, our scorpion leaf fish, our mini artist grouper, blue hippo tang, coral beauty, black and white clownfish, snowflake clownfish. I got the toadfish in there as well, and my lobster is in there somewhere. Purple lobster, and we also have the horseshoe crab in there as well. Where am I lobster? He's in there somewhere. Anyways, let's go check out the 250 real quick, and we will be out of here. So anyways, that's the quarantine process. That's what you need to do if you want to keep ick out of your tank. If you want to kill ick, eradicate ick, and never have to worry about it. Let's go check out the 250. So everyone in the 250 is doing great. Finally got all the copper out of this tank. Got the decorations back in here. And then, wow, that's overflowing. I need to fix that. Oh, stupid skimmer's going nuts. We're gonna fix that in a second. But anyways, everyone's doing great in here. I fed them yesterday. I actually made this video yesterday, but the GoPro decided to freeze up and be a piece of garbage, and I did not get to make the video. But hopefully tonight that won't happen. And don't forget to check out the website. I got the website back up and running too. Forgot about that. So if you want to order shirts, we're gonna have fishing tackle. We're gonna end up having saltwater fish too, because I'm gonna be buying my saltwater retail license so I can sell fish to everyone. It's gonna be great. Check out the website, realhardfishing.shop. REELHARDFISHING.shop. I'll put the link in the description below in this video. Y'all go check it out. Let me know what you think. Send me some comments. I don't know. Order a shirt if you want some. Check out the inventory we got. Peace.